Hello, and welcome back to Friends Who Roll Dice. This is our show, Camp Carnage, a Monster of the Week actual play. Before we get into it, this is Friends Who Rolls Dice, a wonderful, wonderful TTRPG streaming channel. For any upcoming games, we do have Mind in the Martyr, which is a D&D 5e game that happens on Sundays. But right now, this is Monster of the Week. This is Camp Carnage. Let's get into it and let's go ahead and introduce our lovely players. Let's start out with Noemi. Tell us who you are, what your pronouns are, who you're playing, and what their pronouns are.
Hey, howdy. Hey, everybody. My name is Erminia Salcedo. I go by Minnie on the interwebs, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am playing Noemi, the expert, and their pronouns are she, they.
All right, let's cut over to Brandy.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brandy Rose. I play Tlalli Papaqui, the freak. My pronouns, he, they. Tlalli's pronouns, she, they.
How about Alyssa?
Hello, everyone. I'm Alyssa. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Emma Kohli, who uses she, they pronouns.
And now, Katy. Hello.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katy. I play Maverick Mills, the Hex, and we both use she, they pronouns.
And I am RK Wilde. I use they, them pronouns. I am the monsters. I am the world. I am the GM. I do a lot of things for this. So that's what I do here. So last time on Camp Carnage, our party narrowly escaped death against the creature that was hunting them, with maybe Maverick being a little closer to death than everyone else. The group went through a lot of conversations about what was going on, how to handle it, and the monster that was hunting them. And they put together a conspiracy board with all their ideas, and then they split up with other people going with the group going different places. Give me just a second. My dog is barking very loudly for a moment.
Got things to say.
Yeah.
So with Noemi going with sorry, my brain's freezing. With Noemi and Lee going to check on one of the counselors, Emma going to take a phone call, and Mav going off with one of the counselors to have a conversation, as Emma then gets kidnapped after completing a phone call. Eno is still off in the wind, nowhere to be found, and that's where we're going to go ahead and pick up. Lee and Noemi, the two of you are listening at the back door of the mess hall to, or at least the kitchen door of the mess hall, to Emma's conversation with who you would assume is the landlord slash real estate development company that Emma has been interning for. And you can hear part of the conversation, about half of it, of course, because the other half you can't hear through the phone. And you hear the back door of the mess hall open, the one that leads out towards the lake. What did the two of you do as this conversation gets further and further away from you?
I think Noemi looks at Lee and is like, so are we going to be more chismosas or?
That's a difficult decision.
To chisme or not to chisme? It's truly difficult sometimes.
Well, the conversation has stopped. And there is potential for other chisme if we keep going and move. At the very least, we should check and make sure that the people that are missing for fun and not for unfun. Plus, if they're missing for fun, extra juicy chisme. Plus, I don't trust where everybody else went.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, fine. We'll go for extra juicy chisme. And then satellite phone. We got to check out where the safe was thrown.
Yeah, I can't believe that thing can take pictures.
Yeah, landlords, right?
Landlords.
So you both would know that the 3 campers who are missing, the counselors who are missing, are Nick, Paris, and Danny. You know that Nick and Paris may have gone back to Paris's cabin
So it's
for
Danny.
some conversation. And according to what you've been told, Danny went to go check out the safe like 20 minutes ago, which is a long time to be
Oh yeah,
looking at a safe.
we need to go check on Danny. That's suspicious. Yeah, okay. Well, okay. So we should go check on Danny. Because even I, like when I have safe duty, I don't need that long and I get lost all the time. So we should check on Danny because that's weird. Paris and Nick, we should give them another cool 20, maybe 40 minutes. Not that I don't trust my boy, but I know my boy. So we don't need to wait that long.
Question for you. How often are you on safe duty?
Disturbingly a lot given my everything. So much actually.
I just wonder if safe duty is something that Lee just does to hang out in the air-conditioned office, or if it's an actual job that you've been assigned.
Actually, it's a mysterious third thing, which is that it's a job older counselors give me to get me the fuck away from them when I am talking about something weird.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, hey, can you go check on the safe? And I'm like, yeah.
You mentioned
absolutely.
safe duty, and Noemi's like,
the fuck safe duty?
Mija, what?
Safe duty. When you go and you stand in the office for a few minutes and you look and you check and make sure it's still there and closed and stuff.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's totally a job. Why don't you go show me where you do that?
Okay. Pounding off, already excited. Just absolutely, I can show you my task that is very important that I'm very proud of.
Mm-hmm.
That I do on a regular basis.
The two of you head out of the mess hall, walking through the dark camp, and head towards the main office where you know that the safe has been thrown out a window. And you can see that laying on the ground, open to the world, is the safe.
Oh.
The one day that I don't do safe duty.
This is exactly what they were trying to have you help from this happening. Is there anything in it, or is it just
looking into the safe? You do see that in there is the counselor's cell phones, because most of you don't have signal up here, so it's just safer to keep that in the safe than it is leave it in your cabin where a kid might take it, and if it gets dropped in the lake, that's it. Whoopsie daisy, there's nothing you can do about it. So most of the counselors have given their cell phones to Antonio and Rohit to take care of. And so you see that those are there. You also find, and this is very interesting, a piece of paper that looks like it's been torn out of a notebook or something and has been stained red.
No, I don't want more paper.
Yeah, why don't you pick that one up? You were hoarding the other paper.
Oh, I'm just gonna make that just grumbly noise and pick up the paper.
You pick it up and you can see that there is no word on it. It just has that same red blotched stain on it that the other 2 pieces that you've seen have. There's currently only one piece of paper you have that has a word on it.
Sorry, that was me. This one's gross.
If I shine a flashlight behind it, can I see if there was anything previously written on it?
Smart.
You cannot see anything there. There's no sort of word or anything inscribed.
Well, this is gross for no reason.
Yeah, but at least you touched it and not me. You can probably put that down.
That's what you think, Prima. And you get it it's like cheese touch. You get it shoved into your neck.
God, ew.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably going to bring back flashbacks to when we were younger, and I feel like because you're older, you might have done this to me, but we can switch it. I don't care. But what my prima did to me when I was little was be like, Tay, did you know I can use the force? And I was like, the shit, you can use the force. She's like, no, I can use the force, really. And I was like, okay, how? Show me. And she'd be fucking worked. She could use the force.
So neither of you actually have any sort of magical experience, like
No.
magical know-how. You think that if you bring it
We're
to
just
someone,
Latina.
you think if you bring it to someone with magical experience, that they might be able to tell you what was going on here.
Okay. I think having had it shoved into my neck, Noemi like swats away your hand and then just like pulls it off of like her ascot. It's like, okay, fine. Puts it in their little like front vest lapel. Oh, crap. Do you see Danny anywhere?
Oh, right. Do I?
Go ahead and roll me a read a bad situation.
Okay.
Oh, good.
I always find this stuff so funny. Like these kinds of roles are so funny because like narratively, if you decided that he was right there and I roll poorly, then like he could be right next to me. I'd be like, oh,
No,
I don't
not
see
there.
him. Let's see. What was it called?
Read a bad
Read
situation.
a bad situation. Okay. Let's see.
10, 11.
Oh,
Hey.
All right. You can ask any 3 questions from the list. So the list is
Right.
what's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims?
Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
So there is definitely dangers you haven't noticed here. First off,
Oh,
satellite phone is gone.
uh,
There is no satellite phone in the safe. It's just absolutely not here. So something or someone has taken it. In addition, there's a piece of paper here. Every time you've seen one of these pieces of paper, if they haven't had words on it, it means that the creature has interacted with it already.
right.
And that every time this creature interacts with a piece of paper, it gets a little stronger based on what you know.
That makes sense. Every time I read, I also get a little stronger. Knowledge.
Those are the dangers you haven't noticed. There might be someone working against you, and also the creature may have already been here or be nearby.
Okay. So I don't see Danny. Okay. So, well, I don't see Danny. And also, the phone is gone.
And
Which
this
is
thing is here.
bad. Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Noemi picks up their phone,
Mhm.
tosses Lee her phone.
Oh yeah. Mothman keychain.
Yep, it's the weirdest phone in here. Okay. Well, we need to find Danny, or we need to find a satellite phone because this is getting out of hand now.
Yeah, this is like beyond what I like weird wise. This is like actually scary.
Yeah, a lot of the things you talk about could actually be scary, especially if you don't want to hear about them.
Can't relate, but go off.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you want to check on Nick really quick, or
Yeah, we probably, just like, because like, we have like a system, like I can knock and he knocks back. And then I'm like, okay, cool. We don't need to like open the door or whatever. Cause like, I think if we open the door at the wrong moment, Paris is going to kill us worse than the monster could.
cool? Okay. Yeah. Could I recognize, because I know how many counselors there are.
Mhm.
Were there an equal amount of phones in here, just like in case maybe Danny took hers?
You would notice that most cell phones are in there. You would notice that because you can just like pick up a phone and look at the lock screen if it's on, and you can probably tell whose it is.
Yeah.
You would notice that there's not one for Mercy.
Okay. On the way to Nick's, we should probably also swing by Mercy's cabin.
Yeah. Sure. Okay.
Great. Okay.
All right, and the two of you head off. We are going to cut to Mav a little bit earlier, walking towards Mercy's cabin. Mercy specifically told you, Mav, that she has some books and perhaps a bestiary that may be able to help identify this creature in some way, shape, or form. And she has been walking with you across the camp to her cabin. Are you saying anything during this walk? Are you being quiet? Mercy did say some creepy things about blood and delicious things earlier today.
Yeah. I think Mav is just like for the first time around Mercy being very awkwardly silent and sort of like racking their hands together as they like are trying to observe every small movement Mercy makes, more so than usual.
Mm-hmm. Mercy is walking very confidently, very sort of almost gliding across the ground with like how easily they're moving. She doesn't seem at all perturbed by the situation or confused by any of it, which is interesting. In fact, with like everything that happened with Lee, like telling the truth in front of all the counselors, Mercy seems to have just taken this all in stride. Like it's just a regular Tuesday.
As I get closer to the cabin, Mav is just like, so are you like into the conspiracy theory cryptid type of thing like Lee is? Like, is that a thing you like?
She looks at you, just like turns her head and says, "Is that something you think I would be into?"
I mean, I'm not really sure. You did say that you like you had like a bestiary like information on him, so I mean it's in a way I guess it's not shocking. I just didn't sort of expect it.
Mhm. A lot of people get confused by my vibe sometimes, but I like to think that I'm open-minded.
I don't think I'm really confused by your vibes. I think I got it like on the nose. Um,
You think you have
uh,
me pegged?
um, uh, that goes completely over Mav's head. Mav goes, I mean, I think so. I mean, we've hung out a lot, so I feel like I would know.
I know, we have hung out a lot. In fact, I even made you a charm.
You did, and they hold up their wrist and like
Mhm.
to show it off. They're still very proudly wearing it.
Mhm. As she says this, the two of you are approaching the front door of her cabin, and she places a hand on the doorknob and looks towards you and says, "Maverick,
Yeah.
I need you to make me a promise here.
Okay.
You can't tell anyone, especially the camp directors, what you're going to see behind this door."
Mav like chuckles and it's like what do you have like dead bodies behind the door or something?
Oh no, nothing so profane.
Okay. Mav gets a little bit of an uncomfortable wiggle.
And she goes ahead and opens the door. And Mav, you can see there's like a strange glow coming into like from the cabin.
Do you have like a mini fridge in here? Did you leave it open?
Something like that.
Is she like stepping aside so Mav can go in?
She's open. She has the door open.
Oh yeah, then Mav will like just sort of a nervous little chuckle and then step in.
you step in, and there is a faint blue glow within the room. And you suddenly feel Mercy right behind you as the door shuts, and you are left in darkness besides that faint blue glow. Emma,
Oh, no.
you have just been grabbed by hands, or at least
Yeah,
that's the last thing you remember. In fact, it kind of felt very familiar to the last time you were grabbed by hands in the woods.
Yeah,
and
did I
pulled-
notice if these
But
hands were connected to arms, or were they were just the hands?
it was kind of just that you got grabbed by hands, and then maybe you like tripped and hit your head or something, but it was just like 1 minute you were being pulled and the next minute you were gone. And you find yourself waking up in the woods.
Hello, Mrs. Maxwell?
Oh, honey, please call me Barbara.
Oh, she's actually here.
As stepping out from the tree line is Barbara Maxwell. She's dressed very smartly, like if a businesswoman went camping. Like, very much all of her clothing looks new, but also designer, like designer camping, glamping. She looks like she simultaneously belongs in the woods and doesn't belong in the woods. And just looks at you and says, "How's it going, Emma? It's so good to see you again."
Yeah, I mean, it's good to say. I had this under control. Like, I have a whole notebook of things to tell you. You really didn't have to make the trip up to see the camp.
Emma, it's totally fine. We really have it handled from here. We do appreciate all the work you've done so far. It's been quite enlightening, I would say. But I think that we can take care of it. Emma, if you look at your surroundings a little more closely, you would recognize that you're not just like laying on the ground. You were actually tied to a tree.
Who else is here? Hunter's not here, is he?
Oh no, Hunter's a little too immature to be dealing with these sort of things. Has too much of a frat boy attitude, I would say. No, this is for myself and my good friend that I've made. You see, I am a collector of interesting objects, relics, some may call them. And through some discoveries from many years ago, I've come into some interesting items, including this. And she pulls out what looks like a conch shell, except it's made of bark and twisted around itself, and it almost seems to be dripping sap as if it's bleeding.
Oh, that's quite an art piece.
Oh, it's much more than that. You know, this place, this camp, it is prime real estate. So prime, in fact, that a few years ago, I'd say about 10, we actually tried to purchase this location, but the original owners were a little too reticent to hand it over. Apparently, they were the hippy dippy type, money being not important to them and all. And then, of course, the tragedies happened, you know. People went missing. And suddenly the camp had a bad name. Nobody wanted it. let alone us. But, people going missing is a big deal. A little fire, a little destruction, that's not such a big deal.
Oh, no. I mean, people are missing now too. So it's probably a bad idea to buy the camp again. Plus, there's the lake monster.
Oh, there's no monster in the lake. Though it's a fun rumor, isn't it? And who's missing?
I mean, me right now.
She like looks at you as you're sitting there and says, "Oh, Emma, you're not missing. You're right where you're supposed to be."
I really don't feel like I am, Mrs. Maxwell.
Do you think any of your friends have started looking for you yet?
Um, yes, I'm sure that they have.
Good, good. So, let me ask
I meant no.
you.
I meant no. They're probably preoccupied.
Well, there's yourself, who's not on camp right now. And of course, our little backup plan, who's not on camp. But they should start looking for you all pretty soon, I would hope.
I'm sorry, your backup plan? I worked really hard to get this internship, and I don't think that you needed to have someone else here too. Who else did you bring?
She kind of looks at you, just like, "Oh, you never put it together. You didn't recognize the bone structure? Any of my beautiful traits in her?" And walking out from the woods, holding the camp's satellite phone, is Yasmina. This is my daughter, Yasmina.
Oh, Emma, who used to date Barbara's son, Hunter, is like, that makes sense. I can see that now.
And Yasmina looks at you and says, "Oh, hi, Emma. It's good to see you again."
You knew the whole time?
Yasmina comes up to you and gets very close, like gets down to be on your level and like brushes your hair out of your face for a second. Says, "Of course I knew. You're just an intern, honey. Someone had to make sure you were doing your job."
Emma is heartbroken on every level. And I think that this is the point where they're like tied up, right? Is there can they try to find some way, like if there's any wiggle room?
Yes, you can try and find some wiggle room. Go ahead and roll me. Actually, I'm going to have you roll read a bad situation.
That's a hot 3, but I level up.
Would you like to use your luck, maybe?
That seems like it's the last episode. That seems like a good choice. Yeah.
So go ahead and use your luck. You can ask any of the three of any of the 6 questions.
Let's see. What's my best way out?
So, whatever's happening here, Barbara seems to be villain monologuing. Your best way out is to, while she is villain monologuing, try and break out of your binds by like pushing them against the tree, you can tell that there's a lot of friction with this rope. So most likely it is starting to wither and like it'll snap soon. If you are stealthy about it, if you just start tossing yourself around, there's a good chance that they will stop you.
Okay. Are there any dangers I haven't noticed?
That conch shell, that like one that's made of bark and is like bleeding kind of, there's some bad energy coming from that. Just bad vibes. If this would be a negative on the vibe check. You do not want her to use that in any way, shape, or form, whatever that may look like. That would be bad.
Okay. Does it seem like that's the biggest threat then, is her using the shell, or is it something else?
Yes, that is the biggest threat.
Okay. So I think that Emma talks with her hands anyway. So she like starts trying to engage and sort of, gesturing as much as you can and trying to make it look natural, like she's not trying to break out, that this is just them in a situation acting the way that they would. And so they turn to Yasmina and are like, did you not like me then? Like I really thought that you liked me though.
Oh, honey, I can like someone and still do my job.
I mean, that's fair. But I mean, if you're here, why did you need me in the first place? And why do you want people out looking for me? Anyway, it seems if this is where
Barbara looks at you and says, well, because if someone puts it together that she's my daughter, we'll look suspicious. But if you're the one who ran away with the satellite phone into the woods, then it's fine. So my question for you, Emma, is this. How much money is it going to take to keep your mouth quiet?
Oh, is that what this conversation is? Because you didn't need to tie me up for that. We could have just talked about that over the phone. Like you didn't need to kidnap me up to the woods.
Yasmina looks at you.
I mean, if your mom weren't here, that would be romantic. But as it is. I mean, what if instead of money, I got a job offer?
We can do that quite easily. Would you say 75 a year is a good salary to start out with? And of course, commission.
Insurance.
Oh, benefits, full package. 20 days PTO, 7 sick days.
I like a real title, not like a junior something, like an actual title too.
Realtor associate.
Yeah. I can do that.
Fantastic. Great news. Emma, are you still trying to break out or have you fully stopped?
No, I am absolutely still trying to break out. This is
okay.
I mean, she's tempted, but this is more just trying to keep them talking.
Okay, so you were not taking this deal. You were still fighting against it.
Deal,
great.
Yes.
I would like you to roll act under pressure.
Oof. That's a 9.
A 9. So I'm gonna give you it, but there's gonna be a consequence here, of course. Emma, as you were talking and having this conversation, you feel the moment when the rope is starting to give like a lot more. You can tell that you need maybe 10 seconds more to just like get out of this. It'll be very easy. And as you take those 10 seconds and you break free of your binds, what do you do?
So I think that Emma can feel the rope starting to give. And the plan is once the rope breaks, just to like launch herself towards Barbara and try and grab the strange bark shell.
Okay. You shatter your ropes. You leap off the ground running towards Barbara. But it's like she almost knew that was going to happen. Because she just smiles. And before you can even get close to her, she blows into the conch shell. And the entire ground shakes. And the trees shake. And in the camp, Lee, Noemi, and Mav, you hear that same roar. And Emma, from within the shell, through the exit of it, comes a pale, sickly hand with way too many fingers, and it hits the ground in front of Barbara. And you watch as a creature begins to pull itself out of the conch shell, its body twisting and stretching and pulling in order to emerge like it's made of taffy. And falling out of it is this pale creature, its entire body made of these overlapping hands that cover everywhere on it, except for a single eye that you can see. And it breathes. You can see the body rising and down as if its lungs are filling with air. And then several of the hands that make up its entire form come off and reveal a crystalline underbelly underneath. And it begins to reach towards you. And Barbara looks at you and says, "Looks like you'll need more than 20 days PTO. What do you do?"
Yeah, if if Yasmina is anywhere nearby, Emma is going to sort of shove him towards the monster and then try and make a run for it in like any direction, just away from this.
I would like you to roll kick some ass.
That is a 6.
Would you like to use luck again?
Sure.
Listen, you can say no. I won't kill you right out. You seem very not tempted by using luck to survive here.
It's a fire sale. It's all gotta go, baby.
Go big or go home. Come on.
Okay, yeah, let's use luck.
Okay. You use your luck and you feel yourself reaching to throw Yasmina, and you push her right in front of the creature's grasp. And the creature's arms go flying out towards you. And they almost strike Yasmina, but they manage to pull around, but they don't touch you. They completely miss you. And you start bolting back to the camp. Emma, how was your sense of direction in the woods at night?
Bad. I mean, Emma tries to stay just by the lake all the time. I think they've gone through the woods like once as a counselor.
Mm-hmm. Especially with your head kind of hurting a little bit from hitting it. I would like you to roll Act Under Pressure.
Okay, that's an 8.
It's an 8. Okay. You begin to run through the woods and run back to camp. And we are going to go ahead and take our first break right there. All right. We will actually see you back in 5 to 10 minutes, y'all. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Camp Carnage. Now with another player here. Hello, Kanding. Would you like to introduce yourself, your pronouns, who you're playing, and your character's pronouns, please?
Hello, my name is Kanding. My pronouns are they, them, and I will be playing Lahian. Pronouns they, she, and he, though they usually go for they, them. They've been gone. I'm excited to know where they've been. I don't know what's gonna happen. I only knew a little bit of what's happened so far. So let's get to it.
So, after the fight with the hands in the forest, you kind of ran off. You saw the look of recognition in Noemi's eyes, and in that moment, you realized you could not be there anymore, and you ran off. When you come back to yourself, in a sense of like, that feeling when you just are so emotional and you just start moving and you're not really paying attention to what's going on, and you don't really know how you got to somewhere. When you come back to yourself in that sense, when you finally recognize where you are and your brain puts together the pieces of where you've been, you find yourself somewhere very familiar, somewhere you were actually this morning. You find yourself back in the dude's cabin. The dude isn't there. You were there by yourself currently. What is going through your head through all of this? The adrenaline from the fight, from the combat finally leaching away from your body starting to actually go back to normal as the horse-like features begin to fade.
Is going to be pacing around as the transformation is like leaving their body, and in their head it's the constant stream of just the word run, 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 run. I have to run, run, run. Hold on. Literally, says it out loud, hold on. And then finally realizes like that they're in the dude's cabin and they just lean their back against the side of the wall and then slides down and just stares into the distance. Not really thinking of anything, not really deciding on anything just yet. They are trying to piece together how they let themselves lose control, and tears start streaming down their face as they're thinking about, they feel like a failure. Why did this happen? Why was this shown to everyone? Why didn't they just keep it together? And then finally arrives at the thought where they're like, okay, I have been told that the most optically favorable thing to do is I face what these people are gonna think and deal with the consequences. That's the healthy way to go about it, right? They will see I'm not a threat. Okay. Where is he? And then starts looking around for the dude.
Mhm. Looking around, you can tell that the dude isn't here and probably hasn't been here in a little while. You know that the last time you saw the dude, he was at the mess hall. Or at least you were sending him off to the mess hall with a note for the rest of the campers. But you haven't seen him since then.
Okay. I'm just gonna say this here. The dude likes Noemi. I will go find the dude, probably in mess hall. I might get punched, but I'm wily. I can do this. Yeah, I can do this. And then they start marching towards the mess hall.
As you walk out of the cabin, I'd like you to roll me an act under pressure, please.
Okay. Oh, I don't have forward with this, right?
No, you do not.
14.
14. You step out of the cabin, the mini cabin that you've made for the dude, and you immediately hear the crunching of leaves and something moving very quickly. And tumbling out of the tree line, landing almost face first on their face, is Emma.
Emma?
You ran off. Where did you go?
Here apparently. Did you follow me?
Yes, but then I got grabbed and then I went back. You missed a lot, but we need to go. Like now, back to camp now.
What?
Emma, you hear movement behind you coming very quickly.
Now. And she grabs Eno's hand and starts dragging them, possibly in the wrong direction. Like maybe Eno needs to course correct us a little bit as we take off running.
So fast. Okay. So fast. Okay. Let's go. And then Eno kind of like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna hold your hand, and then Carrie grabs Emma's hand and then runs towards the mess hall.
Okay. And you begin running back towards campus. The two of you sprinting through the woods. Do you say anything to Emma? Do you ask any questions? What do you do?
What's chasing you?
The hands? Were you there for the hands?
I saw hands last time, I think, yeah.
Whole monster made out of hands.
Neat, but maybe not right now.
No, like that. Not neat. Scary, spooky, bad.
Oh, not Lee neat. Okay. So that kind of monster. Okay.
I need both of you to roll act under pressures for me as you are running towards the camp.
10.
11.
11. Fantastic. The two of you run through the woods without getting further lost. We are going to cut back to Lee and Noemi. The two of you have checked in on the safe. There's nothing there, or at least there wasn't the satellite phone. You haven't seen Danny anywhere. And I believe you said you were going to go look at Paris and Nick's, where they might be. You're muted, Lee.
Nick's cabin.
Yes, Nick's cabin.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
The two
Yeah,
of you
making our way.
head on over to Nick's cabin, and getting there, what are you planning on doing? Are you just like knocking on the door? Are you opening the door? Are you looking in the windows? What are you planning on doing here?
I was gonna knock on the door in like a very in like a pattern like that we would be used to, and then very loudly go, Is the cabin rocking or are you dead?
You very quickly hear like someone cursing inside the cabin, and then you hear Nick say, "Don't come knocking. Don't come knocking."
Congratulations. Keep the door locked.
And there's no other, it gets very quiet all of a sudden.
Is it like alarming or is it like the quiet you would expect?
It is the quiet.
Okay.
Have they left yet?
Okay, cool. We're gonna back away quickly. I don't want to hear anything. This is my buddy.
Oh, Noemi didn't even walk up the steps. Noemi like for sure stayed at the base of the steps and just like looked around.
Just gonna turn around and give you a big thumbs up.
6 feet away. You two go ahead and check it. Everything seems to be good.
Yep, we're gonna leave them to it.
So the only question that's here right now is, where is Danny?
Yeah. As we were walking, could I see any other like footprints around, or like maybe like another like flashlight light anywhere?
Go ahead and roll me investigate a mystery.
All right. Roll it. Did it roll?
No, it did not roll. You can roll physical dice if you have any with you.
Yeah.
Roll20 does not like you for some reason, and I'm very sorry for that.
It really doesn't. It's awful, but you know, we persevere. That is a 9.
Okay. With a 9, you can ask one question.
Okay. Let's since I'm trying to look for Danny, just where did she go?
Okay. You start looking for Danny and trying to figure out where in the world did Danny go, and what you end up seeing, or maybe hearing, is someone shouting sort of in the distance. Not like screaming, but it seems like they're calling for someone. If you go in that direction, it's towards the lake, you'd probably hear them more clearly.
Yeah, I'll take some steps over there.
Okay. You head towards the lake, and as you approach, you hear someone shouting, "Help, help, help," very loudly.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you both run up, you find that in the almost middle of the lake, in a canoe, is Danny.
Nice reference.
Yes. Thank you. Danny is waving their arms in the air, trying to get anyone's attention. And they sort of see you approaching on the shorelines, and she looks at you and goes, "Oh my God, you guys, you're here."
What? Why are you out on the lake?
You will never believe what Yasmina did.
Yasmina? What?
We went out. We were supposed to go look at the safe, and she told me to come here instead. And I got distracted. You know, ADD brain, I sometimes get distracted and everything. And she was like, "Let's take a canoe out and go on a night canoe." And then she fucking threw the oars off the canoe and swam away.
We're not laughing. We're not laughing.
No, I'm not. I am. Noemi is not. Noemi is full.
Lee is a little.
I think Noemi like hits Lee's shoulder. Stop.
Yeah, that's very dangerous. That's like so. See, I told you more people have safe duty.
Okay, sure. Okay, yeah, you can't swim, right?
I am an athlete, actually. I can swim excellently. I just pretended I couldn't swim so that the hot lifeguard would help me.
Not you, the hot lifeguard's an asshole.
No, but I mean, I can swim out and help Danny. That's what Lee was about to do.
I know. Yeah, go for it.
Lee's gonna jump in the water and start to swim over so that I can like help pull the boat and stuff.
All right. I'm not gonna make you roll for it because you can
Okay.
do this with the amount of time you have. You just sort of grab onto the boat and help pull Danny back to shore. You see Danny is very not into the idea of like hopping into the water at night. You know, like Danny does swim, but for some reason at night they're like absolutely not. They're not about it. They're not about
Smart.
it.
Fair.
She's not
Dark
interested
water.
in it. As soon as you get back to like land, Danny truly just like flings herself out of the boat onto the ground and just seems very thankful to be back. It says, I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I went out there. She just kind of looked at me and I was like, oh my gosh, your eyes are so pretty in the moonlight. You know, it just kind of like hit me really hard. And I was like, oh, maybe.
That's how they get you.
No, okay. I don't get it. Okay. Do you have the phone?
No, Yasmina took it.
That's weird.
She said to leave it here on the dock because if we were going in the water, what if it gets damaged? And then we went out and then she swam back and took it.
Okay.
Well, that's suspicious.
That's weird.
Me.
Not the TikTok.
Shit. Okay. Okay, so we can't trust yet. We can't trust her.
Damn.
As you say that,
Yeah.
we can't trust her. You hear crashing and running, and you also hear excited snorts.
Oh no.
The goodest boy.
No.
And Noemi, looking over from where you're standing, you can see that by the woods, sitting in the same place where he's been waiting for maybe an hour and a half or so, is the dude who is now excitedly hopping back and forth and just snorting. As running out from the woods is Emma and Eno.
Oh.
You.
Shut up.
Okay, cool. Great. Okay, we need everybody. We gotta like Mav's probably dead, but we should probably go and get Mav's body.
Emma and Eno, you both see Lee, Noemi, and Danny there. What did the two of you say anything, or do y'all just keep running? Like they look panicked. They don't look happy.
I am soaking wet.
Emma and Eno don't, at least.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do you guys say anything as you're running towards us? Because otherwise Noemi's just like, we gotta go find Mav.
Hands, more hands, run. Come on.
What? Oh, I'm gonna grab Danny and like pull Danny along with us because I don't want to leave him there.
Yeah, totally.
You grab onto Danny and you begin running. Do either of you turn around?
Yeah,
No.
I think Noemi would be dumb enough to like see what the heck's happening.
As you are running, Noemi, you turn around for just a moment. And just like Orpheus, you never should have turned around. As you watch, there are dozens of hands slithering out of the woods, just floating. They aren't on the ground crawling, but they just begin to move towards you all. They move with a speed as if they are trained to get something and move as quickly as possible. And they are coming towards your group quickly as you are running. We're gonna go ahead and cut to Mav.
You don't gotta. You don't gotta.
I mean, okay, we can just let you stay there for the rest of the campaign. Never find out what happens.
Mav's
Am I
safe.
happy with my maybe vampire girlfriend? Oh, I'm okay with
In
that.
a glowing dark cabin.
It's just ambiance.
Mav, you are there. in the darkness, the door having shut behind you, and you can feel Mercy behind you as like the hairs on your neck begin to stand up. And she says, "We're alone now, Maverick."
Mav doesn't like turn and look at Mercy. She's just sort of like tenses up, and they're trying to find the source of that glow.
Mhm. You can see that it comes from the corner of the cabin. You can see all the sorry. You can see all the bunk beds stacked one on top of each other, and you can see that like in the corner where there should be a bunk bed, there seems to be that glow coming from that area.
Hey, Mercy. What? I didn't think that. I thought that like, uh, like extra lamps and stuff were like forbidden, like fire risks and stuff.
Oh, it's not anything so simple as an extra lamp. That would be silly. And you can see Mercy is just walking in the darkness. Truly, like you see her shadow move in front of the glow. She does not turn on any lights. She does not turn on a candle or anything. She just walks. And you see she is standing in front of this glow, which is hidden behind a sort of soft fabric for some reason. And she says, "Mav, remember your promise to me?
Yeah.
You can't tell anyone what you're about to see here."
Is this like foreplay?
I mean, I guess that depends on how much you like what you end up seeing.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, I do, and she like pauses for a moment and thinks on it and says like, I mean, if you really want it to be foreplay, I thought we were here to read the bestiary.
I don't know what you're doing. I'm just trying to follow your lead, and this seems a little sexual, just a little bit, like a little romantic, maybe.
Oh,
Am I picking? Are those not the vibes you're putting out? Because I'm a little on edge. I lost a lot. I got the shit sort of beat out of me.
Hold on. I think we're having a bit of a miscommunication. And you watch as Mav like walks over and pulls this fabric away from the glowing thing. And Mav, you are momentarily blinded by the light coming from a gamer PC in the middle of this cabin. I was just going to show you the computer setup I have. All the kids have promised to say nothing, and I just didn't want you saying
Is this
anything.
why you're up all night?
Perhaps I have streams to take care of.
I just really didn't see this coming. So you're not a vampire?
Wait, what?
Everyone here thinks you're like a vampire.
I mean, I like to stay up at night, and I'm kind of pale, but that's just my parents are white.
Vibes of like this like pastel goth Lolita thing going on, and it just, people assumed, and you're up all night, you sort of sleep all day, and you carry the parasolar. I mean, everyone just guessed.
Because I burn and my skin is sensitive to like the chemicals in suntan lotion.
Yeah, this all does make more sense than you being a vampire.
I mean, like, if that's the role play you need, we can. I mean, you were mentioning foreplay. Is that? I mean, I have two controllers for Mario Kart.
No. I totally read the vibes wrong. This is a pretty sick setup, though. Very sorry.
Well, we don't get me wrong. I would love to, and like you can see that she's for the first time in the entire time you've known her, Mav, she's kind of tripping up on her words a little bit and like seems a little confused and sort of thrown off by this whole thing. Listen, I would love to do like the like the the Mario Kart and maybe the stuff that comes after the Mario Kart. But I do find you very pretty. Um
Thanks.
Mario Kart?
Yeah. Yeah. I usually can I be Toad? That's usually my favorite.
Wait, hold on. You came here for monster stuff. Do we want to do it? Should we put away the should Mario Kart? I don't. What is the protocol here?
Do both, like between games, like just look up what I need to. I have a lot going on right now. I think Mav like sits down and goes into this long description of what they've experienced, like explain it to Mercy just without a breath, just completely rambling off. And it's like, okay, so yeah, that's what we're dealing with. I know that sounds crazy.
While the moment you start rambling, Mercy like pulls up a little stool that she like pulls out from underneath one of the campers' beds and unfolds and places that down. And she then takes a seat at her large gamer chair, pulls her legs up in her like Lolita dress, and begins typing as quickly as she can into what looks like a strange sort of database that you've never seen. That's just called the Bestiary, and begins looking things up, refining the search based on the terms that you've given, the things that you've mentioned, etc., etc. And she eventually looks at you as you finish telling your tale and says, okay, so here's what I think we have. You are dealing with some sort of angry spirit, which is trapped within what I would guess would most likely be a cursed item. I'm not magical or supernatural. I have a cousin who's a Bigfoot, but he's married into the family. So I kind of learned about this stuff, just like through a lot of family things.
You mean like an actual like Bigfoot, or he just has like size 12 feet?
He's from the species that Bigfoots are categorized as.
Oh, Lee's gonna love that.
They have their fur emits photons, which is why they're so hard to capture on film. But it's a whole thing. Anyways,
yeah. I should probably tell you I'm sort of like a witch, like not like a like Wicca type of like naturalist witch. Like I'm actually a witch. Like I can set things on fire with my brain.
She kind of looks at you and is like, was that a secret?
Wait, what?
Mav, I've seen you light fires before in the bonfire because you didn't want to get a tinderbox.
Oh, I thought I was being sneaky.
Mav, you went, look what I can do, and clapped your hands together and said you used a really tiny tinderbox.
Everyone else fell for it.
Did they?
Right?
Mercy just kind of like looks at you and was like, well, they did seem to all just believe that Lee was joking about the hand creature. But anyways, this is some sort of evil spirit, I assume, that is within a cursed item. And when it kills people, they leave fragments of their soul behind, and it picks them up and collects them to add them to its collection. It's like an amalgamation of dead souls. Yes.
Do we need to like exercise it or destroy it? Like, do you know what the best method to get rid of it is?
You could exercise it. You could destroy the relic it's attached to. You could try burning it, throwing it in a place that is consecrated. You could try and just smash the shit out of it, but that might not work great.
I have to learn what it is in the first place too.
Yes, that's a whole thing. It's an amalgamation of souls is what it is, but there are varying ways to try and sort of exercise that kind of thing. My best suggestion would be to either A, grab the artifact and take control of it, or B, burn it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we figure out what it is and then take care of it. Does someone have to use it? Like, is it someone like commanding it or something?
Possibly. There are many different types of spirits that can be bound into items. It's possible that it's being commanded. Based on what you've said, that it seems to come and go based on a call, it sounds like it's being commanded. This roar, whatever it is. And as Mercy says that, Mav, you hear the roar again.
Yeah, when I hear it, I immediately like shoot up to my feet. And I'm like, oh shit, that's it. And I think I like run to the door and then I stop and run back and I kiss Mercy on the cheek and then run out.
You see that like as you kiss Mercy on the cheek, she was getting like Switch controllers ready and then like stops and says, "Ah,
I'll be back. We'll play Mario Kart later," as I'm just running out of the door to go find my friends.
And you run out. And a few moments later, you see the rest of your group running towards you, holding on to Danny and pulling Danny along. All of them look a little panicked.
Just yelling that, like hands waving. I think I don't know what it is, but I think I know what it is. So I'm like yelling toward the rest of the group. As I'm running toward them, do I see the hands behind them?
Oh yeah, you look towards the group, and as like let's say like they round a corner, as they round the corner and are fully sprinting, about 2 seconds later, you just see hands. What do you do?
When I see the hands, I think like I immediately go into that moment of panic and wanting to. I think Mav is smart enough to know that she can't like defeat the hands, but she wants to try to hold it off so her friends can get a little way away. So I'm going to try to inflict. Actually, can I do would this be considered suspending the phenomenon?
Yes, you've done it before. You could try again. You know that did not last long previously, but you could at least try and give yourself and the rest of the group enough time to sort of like get together and get some thoughts together.
Yeah, I like skid to a stop, sort of like as I'm meeting my friends, and I just dig in my pockets and pull out like the handfuls of lavender that I keep, and I sort of just toss them in the direction of the hands, and I'm going to try to use my force of will.
Okay, go ahead and roll for me.
A 10.
Okay, that's a 10. Your magic takes effect as these lavender petals fly up in the air, and you see that all of these hands begin to slow and stop momentarily. You know, last time you managed to hold one hand for a good amount of time, there are like a dozen right now. You will not be able to hold this long. The group needs to move.
Yeah, as I do it, I just yell, everyone. I think I yell everyone to Mercy's cabin because it's like the closest thing.
Mhm.
This
Mercy's cabin.
poor bitch.
I'm
Not
so
the
sorry.
setup.
What
you know
do
how much that costs?
What do you all do hearing Mav yell that?
Well, we can't go to the other cabins, so Mercy's cabin.
Yeah, Mercy's cabin's the closest thing.
You all break into Mercy's cabin, the door flying open again, and Mercy looks up, sees the entire group enter, and goes, "Oh, hi." And I'm assuming Mav, you're in the back. Or are you the first one in? What's happening with
I'm
you,
in the
Mav?
back. I was holding them off as long as I could, and then I was gonna run behind my friends.
You run in behind everyone else, And Mercy just kind of looks at you and goes, I thought I don't this isn't
So
really my
there,
kind of
we're being
scene.
attacked. We're being that creature, the creature that I told you
Oh.
about. It's here. It's
Oh.
here. And then she goes into this big spiel, like explaining to the group what Mercy explained to her, that it's like a spirit and an item, that kind of thing.
Oh, I saw the item. I know where I don't know where it is, but I saw it. I know who has it. And then turning towards, sort of looking between Lee and Mav, Yasmina is also a landlord. So, it can't be that bad.
Oh, I know.
Doesn't make it any better. Doesn't make it any better. No.
Yeah, no. Also, like, Lee is literally sopping wet. Jumped into the lake fully clothed to save Danny, is still grabbing Danny just because I can't trust Danny to save herself. So arm still on Danny. It's like, yeah, I know. I'm aware.
Wait, how do you know? Did you try the fake drowning thing and she just let you drown?
Yasmina abandoned me on the lake and I almost died.
Okay.
I could have died.
Well,
at the very
didn't.
least, you
You're
would have had
welcome.
frostbite. So
Exactly.
Emma, you know what the item is? You
Now
saw the
I'm
item?
cold and wet.
You can't be mad at me.
I can, but we'll talk about that later.
So my boss is here.
Bruh.
oh yeah, Emma's a landlord secretly, so is Yasmina apparently.
So I'm not the problem.
Why
Oh
would
no,
you be the
you're
problem?
you're also a little shit cake right now, but hands are the problem.
Yeah, but
I don't think you're a
Okay.
shit cake. I don't think you're a shit cake. I think you just have some issues you need to work through.
I'd
That's
like
not
to
the
point
issue
out that
right now.
Lee has no idea that Eno is a monster because Lee wasn't paying attention at the reveal scene
Yep.
and hasn't seen it. It's just totally confused. Like, why would Eno be the problem? What are you talking about?
As you say this, you do feel something hit your leg.
It better be the fucking pig.
Something bumps into your leg very aggressively.
Oh no.
What do?
Kick it.
No.
I'm going bump, right? I'm going to grab it.
Because the cabin still doesn't have any lights on. It's truly just the light from the computer. You grab onto it and you hear a very happy snort as the dude is pleased to see you back.
I missed you too, buddy. I missed you too, but you gotta come inside. It's not safe out there. There's a monster that even Lee doesn't like. Come in,
He's
come
already
in, come
the
in.
cabin. He ran in the cabin with you all.
Oh, okay. Get behind me, get behind me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Eno's going to be looking out in front of, like, towards the door, looking out for the hands.
Mm-hmm.
How many hands, when Noemi dumbly looked back, how many hands did they see?
Around a dozen. When you guys fought previously, there were 3, but you didn't know about the third one until Emma told you about it. There's about a dozen out there now.
Okay. Noemi starts and I'm sure Lee is used to seeing Noemi do her Sherlock Mind Palace look where it looks like she's just staring up at a corner for no reason. It's like a cat seeing something on a wall. It's just just randomly planning things. Yeah, essentially. And Noemi's like, okay, so Emma, your boss is here. Why is that relevant?
Well, she had this it was like a piece of bark, but it was shaped like a shell and it was bleeding, or maybe there was sap coming out of it, and then
Ew.
the hands came out of it, but they were like a monster out of hands, but now they're just hands again.
Okay. And where was this?
In the woods?
Okay.
Where do you think that your boss would like go if she sent the hands after you? Do you think she would like go to the main office or something? Is she looking for something?
I mean, she seemed to want people to come out to look for me. So I don't know if that was so that the hands could get you. Or I don't know. I feel like if you can control a hand monster, you really don't need like office records.
So,
Yeah.
Emma, I will give you this because you've been around this boss for a while. And based on what you've heard, Barbara doesn't want people to die because of the fact that the last time people went missing / died, and no one wanted the camp anymore. Like, truly, the camp became a pariah. Now it's been long enough, the camp's reputation has gone back up, so it is a prime realty spot now. So what she wanted was everyone to leave the camp so she could then torch it or destroy it or do whatever she was gonna do to the actual camp. And who's gonna believe a bunch of counselors who were left by themselves that there were hand monsters?
So we had this saying at Maximum Realty, if there's a problem, like arson is always the solution. Something like that. I don't know. We didn't put it on the signs. But anyway, I think she might want to try and burn the camp down. But not with us in it. Like, she wanted us out of the camp while she did it. So that's something.
I mean, if she wants us out of the camp by like killing us via hand monster, that's like not better.
No, she doesn't want us to die though. She just wants us to be like blamed for it.
I fail to see where the hand monster is a harmless henchman.
Noemi,
Oh no.
when Lee says
No.
that, something makes a little more sense to you.
Okay.
You've heard that roar before. You now know the roar is connected to this item. And 3 counselors went missing previously. It's possible that Barbara has less control of this thing than she pretends to.
Hmm.
And that maybe, if it gets strong enough, it'll do what it wants to do.
Right. I think, okay, knowing that as that like clicks in my brain as Emma's like word vomiting, getting all of this out, Noemi brings up that exactly is, well, if she didn't want people to die, 10 years ago was a hell of a way for that to happen. It's the same thing happened then.
10 years ago? As like that 10 years ago?
Yes, that 10 years ago when we got separated and the people who went in to try and find you didn't come out.
So you're,
Oh
you're
my
saying that
God.
it wasn't Eno's fault. It had nothing to do with Eno
No.
then.
Not necessarily. I mean, ran from me and we got separated. So in that case, maybe, but no, I don't think so.
That's good.
So this thing could very well still kill all of us.
Yeah.
Tight. Cool. Oh man.
How do you defeat it? Did you know how?
So Mercy said that we just had to like destroy the item or exercise it, put it in like consecrated ground or something. I mean, I could probably like honestly, if like I could get close to your boss with the item, I could probably just like set it on fire with magic or something, destroy it somehow, banish it. I don't know. I could try.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
still
you're good
have
at
the
setting things
phone?
on fire.
Emma, do you still have your satellite phone?
Do I still have my satellite phone, or did she take my stuff?
You go and check your stuff, and you see the satellite phone, and you find something else.
Eh.
A piece of paper with the words "be afraid" on it.
These are not helpful anymore.
We're already doing that.
Wait, but they want these, right? So
I think they don't want them anymore. I think they wanted them to get us off their shit. And now I think the cat's out of the bag.
oh.
Well, yes, but also it wants it, like the hands. It gets stronger the more it has them.
Wait a second. So if your freaky landlord boss is the one controlling Mr. Hands, then who or what is giving us these papers?
Mav,
Anyone
you're
can
like a
roll
witch, right? Can't you like
Really?
Witch-
What?
What?
You don't remember me casting a spell? Mercy said that everyone knew.
Yes, Mercy cast a spell in front of Lee last session. The only
Yeah.
person who wasn't here was Eno.
But I don't notice those things.
Yeah, they were making abuelas, like they were making hot chocolate.
With magic? I had magic hot chocolate.
No, I didn't do anything to your. You know what, Lee? We'll talk about it later. I mean, Mercy is related to a Bigfoot, so we have a lot to talk about. I told you, Lee
Name
would
is
love that.
Caleb. He's a florist.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm magical. What do you want me to do?
Figure out who sent this, who wrote this, why?
Can I use magic to like do one thing beyond human limitation?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
He's
and
crying in the corner of like joy.
All of my forum rants are correct. I'm right.
Another 10.
Another
My
10.
friend is a witch and I know a Bigfoot by proxy.
You grab the piece of paper and you use your magic. Are you using a piece of paper that is bloodied or the one with the words on it? You have 2 with words on them currently. You have a total
And
of
a
5
bloodied
pieces
one.
of paper.
I asked Noemi which one she would like me to use.
Would I?
Katy thinks bloody one because that's like a connection to someone. But also, if we wanted to like who specifically was like, is this a warning? We might want to go with the words.
I vote words.
Okay,
Through
I'll do the
sniffles
words
and
then. Okay.
tears.
You grab the piece of paper that has words on it, and you've looked at one of these before. And Maverick, you don't have a vision this time. Maybe it's just the amount of information you've learned recently. Maybe it's what you felt in the air around you. You realize what this is. This is a fragment of a soul given physical shape. You were told by Mercy that this creature kills people and fragments their souls and then needs to collect their souls back together to get stronger.
Oh no.
It killed 3 people last time, creating
Paper.
6 fragments.
Oh, okay.
You have 5 of the 6, 2 are still complete, and there is 1 missing.
Yeah, immediately Mav drops it. She's like, "Oh, that's a soul."
Oh.
It's a what now?
Like a soul piece of paper, or
No, like it's like it's a fragment of someone's like actual like soul,
like SOUL.
yeah, like their being. It's wanting to collect it because the more souls it collects, the more fragments it collects, the more powerful it gets. So that's why
is
it's
it
trying to get these
paper?
from us. I don't know.
Aren't we all just trash in the wind? Isn't that what that one singer said?
Okay, you know what? You're fair. Like paper, plastic bag, whatever. Sure. How do we get them together?
I don't know if actually.
My bad for putting that on your neck. My bad.
I don't know if anything will help connecting the fragments. Like I don't know if that's going to help us. It might bring these people peace, but I don't think it's going to help us I think we need to focus on destroying
Well, but what if we
whatever
bring
this
them?
item is that's controlling these hands.
But what if we bring them peace? Then maybe they'll like dissolve and go away, and then the monster can't take them.
I mean, the monster already has power from the soul that's consumed. We sort of have to focus on that.
Yeah, but it could get more if it got these pieces. That's why it wants these pieces.
Are the hands still
Or-
coming for the cabin? Like,
Oh
if I
yeah, are
look out
they
the
like
window?
banging?
The walls have started to, as like you're having this conversation, there is now banging on the walls of this cabin.
This is like the least fun cabin rocking that's ever happened.
Mercy looks at you all and says, well, it may not bring them peace, but it is at least a distraction. If they're trying to get this paper thing, then maybe they'll leave you alone.
Yeah, but if they get the paper thing, then they'll get really strong and kill all of us.
Unless we get to the shell first.
Yeah.
This is just an idea, and feel free to shoot it down. Kanding, can you not Kanding? Sorry,
Break the fourth wall.
Kanding, can you become a horse? Can you can you like transform and maybe take one of the piece of paper and distract them, and then we can try to find whoever Emma's boss is?
So you want me to go towards the boss?
Well,
or
not
do you
toward-
want me to
no.
go
No, like outside of the
around
cabin
the
and
boss?
just run in a different direction.
But going towards the boss, right?
Yeah.
Mm,
Like a different direction than we would take. So it's just the hands are because clearly the hands want the paper, right?
Yeah.
I would like someone to please mark off a luck point. Otherwise, these hands will be.
I'll
broken
do it.
right now.
I'll do it.
awesome. I think as Mav is like trying to figure that part of the plan out, Noemi continues to talk to Emma and is like, okay, can you, it's a satellite phone. Can you find another phone? Because both Yasmina and your boss have the other two phones.
I'm not that great at tech. You can do
I am.
everything. Lee can do everything. And
Sure
Emma
can.
thrusts the phone at you.
Tight. I've been waiting to get my hands on this baby. All right.
All right, Lee. What
Takes
are
a
you trying to do
selfie.
with this?
Yeah. First things first, I take a selfie. With like a group selfie, like just like pulling it back.
Lol, terrified.
Yeah. And then I start trying to see like what's on it, what capacity does it have, and if I can use any of the features to find the nearby like pings of the other two phones. Although
Roll me
the
an
problem is that
pressure.
I don't know if it'll be able to differentiate, but we'll see.
Mhm.
Let's see. Got it. Mixed success 8.
Would you like to use an experience, a luck point?
Yeah, might as well. I haven't used any before the one that I just used, so I use luck.
So you take a look at this satellite phone, and you very quickly realize you may not be able to find Yasmina's because that is the one that's owned by the camp, but you can very easily find Barbara's. After all, they're on the same phone plan. They're
Mhm.
connected to one another.
Right.
There we go.
Tight.
The same
That's what I
way
wanted.
Barbara tracked Emma earlier and knew exactly which building Emma was in, you can do the reverse to Barbara. And you can see that she is on the edge of the woods, not where the hands are, but a little north of the camp, almost just waiting. It is just like a consistent beacon. It's not moving yet. You would assume, based on everything you've heard, she's probably waiting for everyone to run from the camp before doing anything.
Okay. Tight. I found her. Okay. And I'm just gonna probably grab Noemi and be like, look, there. That's where she is.
Okay. Cool.
Mm.
Great. So I think Mav's onto something. If we can just distract the hands, we can go and I don't know, jump your boss and destroy this shell.
Yeah, we should split up. Team hands,
I have a
team
question.
beat up landlord. Yeah, what?
I have a question. What if I take the papers? That's what the hands want, right? What if I take the papers, circle around opposite direction, like long-winded opposite direction from y'all? Y'all try to take the shell from this landlord, but I lead the hands towards the landlord, kind of like pincer, you know?
Oh, and then the hands, because if she doesn't have the shell anymore, maybe the hands will be able to, grab her.
Or you could try and like put the paper on her, make
On
her, a
her,
target.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's even smarter.
2 birds with 1 stone.
I like my
Yeah.
strategy games.
Mm-hmm.
We should play together sometime, Mercy. But anyway,
Yeah. I didn't know you were a fast
Okay.
runner, that's cool.
yeah. Mav, may I?
I am
Can we go
Mav
for it?
hands the paper that she had to
And I'm assuming
Uh,
you hand over the second one with words on it, yes?
Yep.
Okay. You have 2 soul fragments, technically. And
This is
you can
scary.
get moving.
Okay. I will take care of y'all. And then Ino puts since they have sleeves, they kind of put the papers in their sleeve, like with a tie. They take off their hair tie and then put it, and then put the paper between the hair tie and then between the sleeves. And then Ino says, I'm gonna open the door now, okay? I'm gonna wave this around, get them to follow me, hide first, and then I'll just see y'all where that landlord is.
Please
okay?
don't roll badly, because if you walk out and it snatches
That-
the paper from you, I'm gonna scream.
Yeah, actually, I think
luck.
Noemi would be like, why are you going to go out the front door? They're knocking on the front door. Go out the back door.
There's
a
a back door?
There's a
No,
there's probably a window in here,
there's
though,
a
right?
window,
There's
right?
a window,
No.
yeah. You can try and
Yeah.
jump
Yeah,
out the window if you wanted.
that's Noemi is saying is the back door.
Okay. Okay, window. Okay, cool. All right. Can y'all give me a little bit of space because I'm gonna jump out of there. Okay. And then
Backing up.
okay, can I let the fear take over me right now?
Absolutely, you can. I do have a follow-up question for you, though. Are you just jumping through the window, or are you opening it first?
That's what Noemi was
also-
going to be like.
I was like, that would be cool. Jumping through the window,
Great. So you're
But
gonna
like
jump through the window.
transformed or like as a person?
It's gonna be transformed.
Okay.
I would like you to describe for us all a full transformation for yourself and what it looks like.
Now I just realized what I said, that it's a full transformation before getting out the window. You know what? Let's do this. So, lets the fear take over. Thankfully, the hair tie is expandable because Ino's arm just gets thicker and thicker. The hands, the fingers kind of curl up and then they turn into hooves. And then the feet, Ino's height goes up, and then Ino just turns like a dark brown furred creature with glowing red eyes, and then their hair is like growing longer and longer until it looks like a horse's mane. Eventually people see that Ino is now where Ino is standing. There is a 6 foot tall horse that's a biped wearing Ino's kind of torn up clothes, but thankfully the paper is still all right. Then Ino's, I'm gonna go.
And Ino runs towards the window and jumps. I'd like you to roll act under pressure as you break through the glass and it goes flying everywhere.
Oh.
Right, I gotta do this.
Lee just losing her shit in the corner.
Lee
It's a
losing her
12.
shit, smacking customs.
Hey.
It's a 12.
Yeah.
Nobody dies.
You leap through the glass, pulling your legs up, your body sort of almost like curling up to defend yourself as you shatter through it. And it is like slow motion for us as we watch you land, and then the hands begin to appear, each striking the ground behind you as you duck and dive and dodge and run your way towards the forest line. And we just see all these hands coming towards you, flying around you, trying to strike you. Everyone else, you hear the banging on the cabin stop, and if you look out the window, you can see that Ino is dodging a onslaught of whatever this monster is. It is truly like Ino has to keep moving or she will get hit. There is no stopping in their pace. What do you all do?
Above.
I-
oh,
Go ahead,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good.
If you have it above the question table, go ahead and act like it's fine. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask Alyssa, what is Emma wearing again?
Emma, I think, is in just like a t-shirt, like a camp t-shirt and shorts, and had a backpack that they were carrying around.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Mev. I just have a really dumb idea.
I think that like if no one is stopping her, like after Ino has jumped out, Mav is immediately going to the door, open them, and just like, come on, we gotta go, like trying to get everyone out.
Okay. Noemi is going to like take off her like vest, take out a few things out of various pockets, and then give it to Emma and be like, this will make you look different at a distance. And then just starts booking it in the direction of where we need to go, since she looked at the map.
Why do
Here
I
you
want to
go.
look different at a distance?
Because the hands were coming after you initially.
Lee, are you doing anything?
Lee is just following everything that Noemi does or tells her to do because she's still trying to process that she's friends with a witch, way cool, that she now knows a Bigfoot by proxy, dream come true, and that one of her friends is a Tikbalang. And it's a lot happening for, it's a really big, great day. And also like a really bad, scary day. So Lee is on autopilot following Noemi after having smacked the shit out of her cousin's arm the whole time that all of that was going down.
Oh yeah, my arm is sufficiently aching right now.
As you all run out, Mercy and Danny actually pull off from y'all and head towards the mess hall, saying that they need to tell the rest of the campers what's going on. As you both all run off into the forest. I'm not going to play through a running scene of you all running through the woods and everything because you all know where you're going.
Cool.
And the first people to get there is Noemi, Mav, Emma, and Lee. You stumble into this sort of clearing right on the edge of the forest where you can very clearly see Barbara and Yasmina are standing and just talking, sort of looking towards the forest waiting. You've snuck up on them because of course you knew exactly where they were and you did not want to be seen by them. What is the plan here as Ino is currently being chased by hands?
Above the table, are we cool with Mav trying to destroy the relic or whatever that Emma told us about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Either
So
we get the relic away from her and just destroy it physically, or Mav just destroys it.
Okay. I can definitely focus on that if someone else wants to like try to get close to Barbara to put the pieces of paper or a piece
Ino
of
has
paper.
both of those.
Oh, Ino has both. Okay. Then I would say like Mav is probably like, do you want to try to distract her? And like I will just try.
I can absolutely cheerleader tackle this bitch.
Fine with that.
I will cling like nobody has clung before. She will be very busy trying to get me off. There we go.
All right. Go ahead and roll me kick some ass.
Tight. This is my spider monkey moment.
Hold on tight, Spider
Spider
Monkey.
monkey.
Hi, Spider-Man.
Oh,
The 7, which is a mixed success.
I'll take it.
All right. So I'm assuming you don't want to do damage. You just want to grab onto her, right?
Well, I don't really care.
Okay. All right.
Everybody in chat is like 10 years old, by the way.
Yes.
Myself
Yeah.
included, because that was also the moment it came out of my mouth. I was like,
Mhm.
Excellent.
So you don't care if you do damage or if you grab on.
No, not at all. Look, if you fight to death. If you're not fighting to death, there's no reason to fight.
All right. You start running up to Barbara and you like leap onto her and like basically try and claw onto her. And you manage to grab her and like fully like you said, spider monkey onto her.
Mm-hmm.
But as you do, she shouts, "Get her off me!" And you all watch as 3 hands appear
Ow!
as the creature steps out of the forest.
Oh,
You
No!
can see that more of its core is revealed. This sort of crystalline figure, all twisted and bent together, made of different dark colors that spin and almost seem to absorb the light around itself. As 3 hands pull off of this crystal and begin to fly towards you, you're going to take 2 damage.
Whatever, that's fine. Real quick. Wait, where's the shell?
The shell is in Barbara's hand. She's holding on to it.
Well, that's what I'm gonna be grabbing on, slapping at her.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying
You're
to get her
grabbing
to
it and
drop it.
slapping at her. All right. What would any of the rest of you
Slapping,
like to
clawing. If a finger goes in an eye.
I'd like to try to get, like, while they're distracted by Lee, I want to just try to get a view of the conch shell, because I'm going to try to cast a spell on it.
Okay. I will say because of Lee's grabbing onto her, you can very easily see the conch shell. You can see that she's sort of holding it with one hand, like very much like trying to keep something away from a younger sibling, just like holding it above your head, like in that sort of style. She's very much holding it out in the open for you to see.
And yeah, I'm going to do my burn everything move, because I think Mav thinks that destroying it is the best thing.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead and roll for burn everything. Can you tell me what that does?
It's just and I choose to inflict harm. It's just I'm using magic to inflict harm, and it's just more harm.
Okay.
So I'm going to do 3 harm, magic harm, and it's obvious. It's an 11.
All right. You go ahead and fire out this magic, and you see that it strikes the shell, beginning to burn it. The shell is not destroyed, it is still whole in there. But you see that Barbara can feel the flames like on the conch shell and almost drops it, but barely manages to hold on to it as she once again shouts for the creature to stop them. And you see that this creature begins to unwind itself more and more, revealing more and more of this crystal innard as its body, the hands that make up its body, begin to come apart. You can see that basically it just seems to be like a head and a face right now, with that single eye peeking out, and not even legs. It is just sort of floating there with the face still together, and it's going to come after you, Mav. Emma and Noemi, what are the 2 of you doing?
So I was going to attempt to waylay Yasmina if she was going to do anything, but one of the items that I have is pepper spray. And so I think that as this creature starts to move towards Mav, Emma is like, "This is my moment," and pulls out her like keychain of pepper spray that her mom gave her like a year ago and sprays it in the monster's eye.
I would like you to roll kick some ass, please.
Okay, that's a 7.
It's a 7, a mixed success. Okay. You go ahead. How much damage does your pepper spray do?
I mean, I assume it does 1.
Great. You hold out your pepper spray and you fully run up to this eldritch monster and spray pepper spray into its face. And you can see that like the creature's eye becomes bewildered as the hands in front of it just like immediately close. And now the hands that it's controlling almost seem to become a little more wild and like just kind of tossing themselves around, less directed and like controlled. uh you are running through the forest as fast as you can. You are getting so close to the group. You know you are almost there, and suddenly the hands behind you start acting erratic. Previously you could tell what they were doing because you knew, okay, they're going to be chasing me. I don't expect them to punch anything or deal with anything else. Now they are punching things. They are destroying the environment around you. They're tossing trees over, tearing through branches and the shrubbery. It is creating a mess of the ground you're walking on and also leaving you in the way of like debris falling from above. I would like you to roll act under pressure, or unless you have something else you think you can do here.
Nah, there's nothing else I can do. I'm just going to act under pressure and try to like avoid all of the things.
Mhm.
9.
It's a 9. Would you like to use a luck or keep it as it is?
I'm gonna use the luck.
Cool. With a full success, you manage to completely dodge these things as things are the branches, the dirt, everything that's being tossed up around you. You manage to dodge, and you can see yourself running into the clearing, and you see Barbara is not too far away. Noemi, the arms are starting to react absolutely over the top. They're starting to strike out at things. They are starting to hurt people. They are freaking out basically. What do you do in this moment of chaos as you see Eno running in, the conch shell up in the air, Emma fighting the creature, Mav being attacked, Lee being attacked? What do you do, Noemi, with your golden ichor sort of stained machete?
I think Noemi's going to like maybe dodge a hand as things are flying everywhere, grab onto the back of Lee to stabilize Lee on Barbara, and then much like trying to chop a watermelon in half, is going to use her machete to hit the top of Barbara's hand that's clutching onto the conch shell. Does not care that her fingers are there, is going to just slice it in half if she can.
All right. Go ahead and roll for kick some ass.
That is an 8.
Okay. Would you like to use any sort of luck or anything?
Yes, I'll use the luck.
Okay. All right. You slice up and you manage to turn your blade so the flat of it strikes Barbara's hand, and you watch as the shell goes flying out up into the air. You do hurt her. You can tell that she's in pain as she pulls her hand back. And as you do, you feel a kick to the side of your head as Yasmina has run up and just struck you. You're going to take 2 harm.
Okay. I am now bloody.
Lee, you've just seen your cousin run up and very carefully knock a shell out of this lady's hand and then get kicked in the head. What are you going to do?
I am leaping off of this lady, ideally with a kick to her head. I got you. Leaping for the conch shell.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me act under pressure here.
Yeah. Okay, 1 second. My fucking headphone. I was trying to jump out of my head. Let's see. Wrong tab. Also the wrong tab. My God. There we go. Act under pressure. Oh boy. 11.
11.
Hey.
You push off of Barbara, leap into the air, and grab the conch shell and land very gracefully. And suddenly, as you were holding onto the conch shell, all the hands stop. Except for the hands that are chasing Ino. Ino, you are still being chased. Barbara is standing there. Along with Yasmina, you have 2 slips of paper, and you are running. What do you do?
I'm going to yell out, "Still original plan?"
Yeah.
While running. Okay, goes
I don't know how to use this.
Barbara. Goes to Barbara, and then kind of like is it, can I say that Ino can kind of like turn it partially into a hand so they can pick up the paper from like this?
Yeah.
Pick up the hand and then kind of like hold Barbara like this from behind and then stick the paper.
Question for you. Do you just want to use both pieces of paper on Barbara, or do you want to throw both pieces of paper, one at Barbara, one at Yasmina, and you keep running? What would you prefer?
Can I ask the table about that?
Sure.
I'm cool with either,
What do
whatever
y'all
you want to
think?
do.
Yasmina's so pretty though.
And
No,
evil.
I'm cool either way.
Okay. All right.
No, I mean,
Okay,
Mav, do
so-
you all have opinions here?
I'm down
cool
for
with
also
anything.
taking
Yeah.
Yasmina. Yeah.
Up to you.
All right. You know what? Break the cycle. Both of you get one.
And you go ahead and you basically, they both have like, it's the middle of summer, but they both have like pretty clear pockets, and you just toss a piece, you try and toss a piece of paper in both of their pockets. Roll me and act under pressure here as you try and just sprint past and just whoop, there you go, reverse pickpocket.
I've done my job. Can I use a luck point for this?
Absolutely.
All right.
Ino
Yeah,
how many-
runs. So good.
I was
used
just gonna
3 so
ask.
far.
Yeah, how many luck you'd used?
Yeah, 3.
Ino runs up, almost action slides up to Barbara and Yasmina, puts the 2 pieces of paper in their pockets, and continues sliding between them. And you watch as in slow motion, the creature opens its eye again, and the
Ew.
hands are no longer wild. They are now moving at their normal speed with their normal determination. And we don't see what happens, but we get an off-screen sound and group reaction to "Ugh," as things go bad for Yasmina and Barbara. Lee, you are still holding on to
I
this.
am indeed.
Yes, you are still holding on to this cursed conch shell.
Mav.
Mav, what do you do?
Should I? Are we gonna destroy it? Is that what we want to do?
I don't know how to break it. Set it on
Uh,
fire.
Mav is going to
Fast.
rush over, grab it, so like she has more purchase on the shell, and full every bit of power she has to completely make this thing disintegrate.
As you do that, as you grab onto the shell to disintegrate it, you watch that the hands grab onto the last 2 pieces of paper, absorb them, then begin to turn towards the group and begin running towards you. All of them now, not just a few. All of the hands that make up this creature, besides the 2 that created space, begin rushing towards you. And Maverick, you create this purple flame around this conch shell, making it intenser and intenser. And I would like you to give me perhaps the last roll of the night with a use magic.
A 10. That's all I rolled tonight.
You pull the flames forward. And Maverick, you've never really known what your magic could do. What happens in this moment with your magic?
I think that Mav has always not really knowing what her magic does and always being really scared that their magic hurts other people because they have, their ability to that temptation to not really care. And she's standing so close to her friend, to Lee, she is terrified that she might hurt Lee in this moment too. So for the first time, she focuses all of her energy and magic on this shell, and her vision is clear. She wants to destroy this conch shell, and the flames burst up in both Lee and her hands and do not even hurt Lee. Don't touch Lee, don't lick her skin at all. But the shell completely disintegrates into ash.
And as the shell disintegrates to ash, this creature begins to disintegrate as well. You can see that crystalline core of it begins to crack and break, and you can see that golden sort of color coming out from it, almost like the ichor that you had struck previously, Noemi, as it begins to shatter and break and then turn to dust and fall into the wind. And from that golden light, you see what look like spirits sort of emerge and dissipate with the wind. All the souls trapped by this creature released, and somewhere else in the world, somewhere far away, a final piece of paper disappears, releasing the last soul fragment that had been trapped as these souls are released. When morning comes, there's a lot of conversations that need to happen between yourselves and the other counselors, of course, and also trying to figure out how to explain a missing counselor and maybe a missing real estate agent. But also the damage to the camp is kind of bad as well. Mercy's cabin has more or less been beaten the crap out of. It looks like it got into a gang fight and lost. The windows are broken, things are shattered, lots of things go bad. During the week that you have before Rohit and Antonio get back, what do you do? I would like to give this a sort of like post credits, here's what we did before we end the entire show. Who would like to start?
I think Mav spends a lot of time in Mercy's cabin helping like make it livable again because she does feel guilty. They definitely play mini games of Mario Kart. And I think that if it's cool with Alyssa, Mav tries to bury the hatchet with Emma and be like, listen, I'm an arsonist, you're a landlord, one's worse than the other, but it's okay, we can work together.
Absolutely. Emma 100% accepts that.
Emma, what do you do during the week?
I think that there is a lot of work to do at the camp to make it sort of habitable and not terrible looking. But Emma doesn't focus on that. The only thing that Emma like fixates on repairing is the one, like the bathroom faucets that they ruined trying to wash the dude. And they're just like, yeah, no, this small problem that I caused is all that I really need to focus on right now. And I'll fix that and everything else will fix itself. And so that's what Emma does.
And I think the camera kind of pans over a little bit and we see Noemi watching you make the repairs. And so, Noemi, what do you do in that week?
I think it's almost like Latina Bob the Builder, where she's like, anything small that I can fix to make it better before the founders get here would be great. And is also trying to like ping pong ideas off of like everyone who was there that night and like the people who weren't there that night of like, so what's our story here? What are we going to tell them about this random Yasmina went missing, and kind of trying to get everyone's stories aligned.
Mm-hmm. we have a freeze frame of you having this discussion with everyone, and we can see Lee with her conspiracy-minded brain is coming up with some ideas. Lee, what do you do during the week?
There's several more threads on the rebuilt conspiracy board. Lee, when Mercy is not with Mav, Mercy is probably being followed around by her new friend, Lee. Does she want to be friends with Lee? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. You're the one who has a big foot in the family. This is not really my choice or yours. It's just happening. So, she's gathering notes on what was his name? Did we say Caleb?
Yes, Caleb. His name's Caleb.
Gathering notes on Caleb. Maybe has already swapped numbers with Caleb and is annoying Caleb for details on really all of her conspiracies. Other than that, she's probably around Eno, hounding them for details on their supernatural connections. Mostly Lee is living her best life, and in between hanging out with Nick and teasing him about Paris.
So we see this image of you sitting at the mess hall table with Mercy on one side showing you wedding photos of Caleb and his partner, except where Caleb would be, there's just like a blur. He's like, this is just like, she's just like, this is how all the photos turned out. And we see next to you is Eno, who's also like getting ready to explain their powers. And Eno, what do you do during this week?
I think the first thing Eno does is to apologize to everyone during the week. One, to Lee for not telling Lee, but also not really sorry because like it's not really like an open secret that I can turn into. To Mav, it's more like, hey Mav, sorry for scaring the shit out of you. To Noemi, it's more like, I'm sorry for the last 10 years. I may have gaslighted you. I'm so sorry about that. So let me make amends by helping you repair things. And to Emma, Eno's gonna be like, I'm sorry for scaring the shit out of you too. I really like you though, landlord aside, and very, very questionable tastes in people aside. You seem like a cool person. Thank you, but also sorry. And then during the off time, Eno's just going to be like hanging out with the dude, going on hikes, avoiding that part of the forest.
And we see the image of you all hanging out with the mess hall, and the dude is there. And I think that is the note that the campaign ends on, with our 5 heroes and their mascot, the dude, sitting at this large mess hall table as you hear a car pull up and Rohit and Antonio return. And you hear someone go, "Why is the safe outside?" And that is where we end this campaign. This has been Camp Carnage, everyone. Let's go around and give ourselves some introductions, tell the people where they can find you, what you do on the internet, that kind of thing. Let's go ahead and go reverse order. Let's start with Eno. I mean Kanding, sorry.
It's okay. The allegations are getting real. Anyway, hi, my name is Kanding. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me on Twitter as Pukepeku. That's Pukepeku. I am a Filipino trans non-binary variety streamer, but not really on hiatus. Basically a TTRPG person. I GM, I perform, I play, and I also design games. So if you want more updates on what I do, though, again, like kind of like an hiatus and things until the next year, you can check out my Twitter, and then I have my card pinned on there, and I have played Lahian, the very confused tikbalang / the what's that playbook, monstrous, thank you. Yes, the monstrous, and I hope to play with these people again someday.
We're gonna go ahead and cut to Brandy.
Oh no, we should do Katy next so that they can barrel if you need.
I have a little wiggle room. It's fine. I just won't be able to stay for post.
Okay, that's totally fine. Then yeah, hi everybody. I'm Brandy Rose. You can find me on Twitter at @the Brandy Rose. My pronouns are he, they. I have been playing Tlalli Papaqui, everybody's favorite cheerleader Flake, which like the class that I was playing was Flake, not Freak. My bad, sorry, Lee. I played the Freak in a different one. But yes, that's me. Find me on Twitter. You can find all the things that I do on Twitter. You can find updated websites on Twitter, which they're going to be finished updating over the next week. And I'm returning from the stream hiatus issues, so
All right.
follow Twitter.
And now Minnie.
Hey everybody, I'm Minnie.
Oh no.
Lasted the whole game.
Minnie.
Have been on Twitter and pretty much currently streaming
You're back.
variety streaming stuff and video gaming.
Can you just give me your @ because you lagged really badly in the middle of
I
that.
did. I was like, no, I'm not lagging. You all froze. My social is Stalwart Ursa.
Right. Thank you. Alyssa.
Hi y'all, I'm Alyssa. You can find me on Saturday at Dragon Riders of Ame on Dexar19's Twitch channel, which is a post-apocalyptic quest game where we are dragon riders. And you can find me always on Twitter at a disaster queer, where I will tweet about other things I am involved in.
And of course, Katy.
Hey everyone, I'm Katy. I've been Maverick Mills, the Hex. You can find me on the internet at Katyface, basically everywhere. You can find me not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after over on Other Doc's channel for our finale of our Cult Divinity game. And right now I'm a pro GM, so I have a spot in a Lady Blackbird campaign opened up starting in 2 weeks, I believe. If anyone would like to snatch that up, if you're interested in learning how to play Lady Blackbird, it's a great game.
And I am RK Wilde. I have been your keeper of monsters and mysteries. You can find me on Twitter at Russ Wildest.
And hands. Don't forget the hands.
And hands. I have been, you can find me on Twitter at Russ Wildest, where I am a pro GM, a podcaster, streamer, a bunch of other things. You can also catch my podcast, Fear in Living Color. We only have a prologue out, but hopefully we'll have episodes coming out in the new year. That is Fear in Living Color. And yeah, this has been Friends Who Roll Dice. If you're looking for more TTRPG content, you can check back in on Sundays for The Mind and the Martyr at 8 p.m. Eastern. With that said, have a good night, everyone, and don't go into the woods.
Or do. We're not your mom.
Don't.